Viven en un country. Andan en BMW para arriba. Los fines de semana se cogen a las mejores minas. Morfan bien todos los días. El día anterior al partido durmieron tranquilamente en un hotel 5 estrellas y se rascaron la verga durante 24 horas sin hacer nada, jugando al ping-pong y al pool y a la play. Juegan al fútbol todos los días de su vida. Los botines, $6.000, $5.000, no sé cuánto salen, ponele 3.000 mangos, 4.000 mangos, están vendados por un kinesiólogo. Están bien comidos, están bien entrenados. Las medias, que son las que no te cortan la circulación, los pantaloncitos, que son los de los huevos, que no te raspan los huevos, la camiseta te estira la espalda, es la que no transpira, que sale 800 pesos, no sé cuánto sale una camiseta para jugar al fútbol. La pelota es perfecta, perfecta, 120 euros, inflada con un barómetro a 8 bares, la cancha no tiene un solo pozo, el arco tiene 7 metros 20 por 2,40. Te aplauden cuando salís a la cancha. La concha de tu madre, no sabés parar una pelota. Le vas a pagar al arco y la tirás a la mierda. Le vas a hacer un pase a tu compañero que está a 1 metro. Y haces así, se la pasas mal. Hijo de puta, eso me puede pasar a mí con esta panza. No hago.
Good evening, everyone. That was actually me and Negative Dan in the pub. Like, we went absolutely mad. That was actually us. You can ask Negative Dan. You can ask Negative Dan if you don't believe me. And I'll be honest, yeah? A lot of the others as well. Like, Shane, I think I told you this on the phone, but like, these people that are online gassing up everything, they don't exist out there. Everybody was cussing. Everybody was shouting, was upset, felt the same way we feel all the time, you know? The game's passed. We were angry at that point, Shane. This is why I want to just, go through this just a little bit, just to get your little opinion on it. But like, we went through it. We didn't play, there's a way to lose. This is what I was trying to say. Because I went live it was a cold show, by the way. I just couldn't stay there for too long. Big up Negative Dav and Positive. They were on Gooners Therapy. Everybody else was there as well. Couple of Negative, Positive fans. I was saying that this is the thing. It was torture because, Shane, there's a way to lose. You go out there, you give it your best. You be a bit brave, cool, whatever. Even though I know this manager, this is the thing. Before the Bayer Leverkusen game, we didn't have a good game. I don't know why everybody assumed. When we beat Man City in the Community Shield, what was that? We played half of our players, all of our players defending, and then Martinelli had a shot that deflected off the player and went in. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like there's no plan. There's only a plan to defend. What happened last game was Guardiola. That's what it was. It was nothing to do with the players. Kepa, these people are gassing up Kepa, Shane. They were like, all right, okay, not gassing him up, but they were like, oh, it's all right. He'll play in the Carabao Cup. He'll play in the FA Cup. That's what they told us, right? He'll play in that Carabao Cup. He'll play in the FA Cup. Well, he did play. So what is it now? Oh, he fumbled the ball, but we didn't do anything before that and after that. No reaction whatsoever. But like, it is where it is. When you get to this point, you just get tired, you just get tired. But I always had a bad feeling. I don't know how everybody else. I was buzzing because I was, at the game. Everybody was there, dab ups, me linking up with DJB, Kenny Ken, Port C, what's his name, Aaron as well, like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? We got to see each other. We were happy, hugging, how you been, whatever. Do you know what I'm saying? We went to the pub, people there. We're talking about Arsenal. We're like, they're giving their ideas, we're giving our ideas. And there was no, Shane, they don't exist. Either outside, there's either on the fence or us. So there's only 2 types. There's on the fence or us. And the ones that are on the fence, they're more of like the people that would, they'll give you their opinion, you give their opinion. They'll be like, you know what? Part of that is true, whatever. I'm not there yet. Cool, whatever. You know what I'm saying? We were there having fun, whatever. Me and Negative Dan, No bucking around. I even did a little stupid show before the kickoff. Shout out to everyone that was on the panel. I meant stupid as in I was late to the show. I was stupid because I thought that that I could actually find a spot where I can just outside Wembley, and then that was no way that was. But we were happy as soon as we started. Havertz missed that chance. I turn around to negative Dan. I swear to God, bro. Everybody here, you can ask negative Dan if you want. I turn around to him, Shane. You know what I told him? I told him, Dan, I think that's our chance, you know?
Yeah.
I knew how we play. We ain't going to have a lot of chances. It's just like other teams. It's just like the other games. Same system, same lineup, same way. But it is what it is. We missed that chance. And then second half, Arteta told them to just defend the whole game, take it to penalties. I think that was an idea. Was the idea to take it to penalties? Was that the plan? Or was it set piece or something? Because I didn't understand what it was, Shane.
It was the same tactics it's been all season. It's just spam crosses, don't let anything in at the back, hope that we nick a goal and see it out. That's been the tactics all season. The only times when we smash a team is when their tactics suit our plan A for about 20 minutes and we just open up and the players sort of take it upon themselves before he can get his claws into them again and tell them to sit back, because we've seen it so often. But Pep just let us have the first few minutes. He figured out, they're going to do the same thing. He made a quick adjustment and that was it. They dominated. Gary Neville was pointing it out in the commentary. He was at Matheus Nunes the whole first 20 minutes saying, get forward, get further forward. He saw Nketiah having trouble with Semenyo, so he pushed him forward. They doubled up on him. Nketiah got booked, rightly so. And then in the second half, he said, okay, Nunes, you keep pushing forward. Semenyo, you keep getting at him. And Cherky, you go out as well and give him hassle. He won't know what to do. Saka can't track back. He hasn't got the legs to track back. There'll be 3 years on him. And both goals came from that side. And if City had wanted it, they could have absolutely smashed us in that game. Like, they could have really gone all in that game. And, of course, you have Arteta come out saying, they score with their first shot on target and all that. They were dominating. They were all over us, man. They were all over us. If Raya had started, we still would have lost. If you look at, I'll send it to you later, there's footage of when Kepa put his foot on the ball for 47 seconds. They've sped it up. But it's sideways to Kepa, foot on the ball, sideways. And the 4 City forwards, I mean, they played 4-2-4. That's how little they feared us. 4-2-4. And you can see the 4 forwards there lined up.
You can see it,
and they're just waiting on us to try and play it out. And after about 2 minutes of sideways passing, we play it into midfield. They snap into the tackle, win it back, 2 passes, and they have a shot. That was it. That was all he did. And I've said it before about Arteta, is that if a manager with the players, and Kenny Ken says this as well, if they have the fitness and they have the skill and they're a good team and the manager tweaks his tactics a little bit, they'll do us every time. Because Arteta, within 20, 25 minutes of that game, I'm sure a hell of a lot of Arsenal fans were shouting at the screen going, they're not going to high press, so why is the keeper waiting? They're not doing it. They're not biting. They're not sending their players in. He's told them to wait. We could all see it. We're going nuts. Second half, I'm thinking, right, at least he can fix it now at halftime and say, look, they're not biting whenever Kepa has the ball. They're not sending someone in and then we can pass it into midfield. Let's do something else. Same thing again. He couldn't figure it out. How can a man on 15.6 million a year not see what all of us armchair fans can see after 10 minutes? It's staggering, right?
I mean, Shane, my question to you is, and I want your answer, because maybe something I can't see. What did Arteta tell him in the dressing room? What do you think he told them?
Before the game?
No. For half time. Let's say we had a great first half, even though me and you believe that it was 20 minutes, but whatever. Let's give him first half. Go on.
Yeah. Well, to me, I'll tell you first, but before we get to the halftime thing, I was saying that the difference, right, in the lead up to the game, like say the week before, Pep would have been getting Semenyo, Cherky, Haaland, Doku, Bernardo, all of his attacking players, and he would have said, you can get it in Nketiah here. Saliba doesn't like this. Gabriel doesn't like this. If it's Ben White, go on the outside. He doesn't have the legs. All of that stuff. All the attacking thing, right? Where Arteta would have been telling his attacking players, when this guy comes forward, you get back. When this guy does this, you get back. He would have given them all how to not concede. where Pep's tactics would have been how to score, right? Because that's what he's an attacking coach. And then at halftime, I'm trying to put my finger on anything that he tweaked. Sit back a bit more. They're getting a grip. That's about it. They're getting a grip of it. Sit back more. Because we came out in the second half and we just sat there. We just sat there and let them. We were just the first 20 minutes of the second half were like a team that's got a 1-0 lead in injury time, and we were just belting the ball clear. It was pathetic, absolutely.
Shane,
pathetic.
Do you know what surprised me is that big up to everyone that's locked in, by the way. Is it just that redirect? I don't know, but
it's Carefree Lewis, I think, that redirected.
Is it Carefree Lewis? Carefree Lewis, bro.
Carefree, bud.
Shane, this is the thing, yeah. We came into this game, yeah, with one mentality. We was gonna defend our way through the game. Cool, whatever. You can do that. That's cool, whatever. But going forward, Shane, we could not create against the weak Man City.
Yeah,
against the Man City that they know they don't rate those defenders. They laugh at them.
Boy centre backs, Rashid.
Thank you. So what happened is that we had to build up this game. Why? Because they played a high line, they put 4 forwards up front. Now you have to get the ball out through the middle. Now you have to get the ball through the middle because you're not going through the wings because Saka's going to lose it and Trossard's going to lose it. So what does Gabriel do? Because Gabriel, I understand him. Gabriel, that's why we like Saliba. We talked about it, innit? Saliba's a ball-playing defender. Now we'll get to the player ratings in a bit, but Gabriel was going long. He was going long. To who? To Mr. Tommy Egan with the jeans and he was wearing jeans that night. Do you know what I'm saying? Gyökeres, even though, and then you've got Havertz just there doing absolutely fuck all. Do you know what I'm saying? So we got to a point where we couldn't control the ball. We couldn't play free passes. We couldn't string free passes. Do you know what I'm saying? It's just Pep Guardiola knew what to attack us. He knew to put up the players, be brave. Do you know what I'm saying? And go for it. And then what happened is that, you know, Cherki just cooked us, bro. Let's be honest here. I told man that Cherki's a baller. He's the best player in the league. I know Cherki I watch Cherki a lot. Why? Because of, you know, he was about to play for Algeria and then he played for France. I don't know about you heard the story or whatnot. So I knew Cherki was that kind of player. And a bit of ego, you know, Arsenal, defensive team, whatever. So he was like, all right, cool. Watch. And I told you before, you know, when we were talking, I told you Man City are more pissed off than us. And usually the pissed off guy wins. Do you know what I'm saying? The more pissed off guy wins. We came in there, we got, was it stage fright, Shane? Was it stage fright? Could it be stage fright?
Well, it all bleeds onto the manager. And the problem is that we always say that this team is so programmed by this manager that when things aren't going their way, they're looking to him for what do we do? They don't know what to do. So when the whole tactic of give the ball to Kepa, he'll put his foot on it. When they send someone in, you play it through to the midfielder, you play it through to either Royce or Zubimendi, and we counter them from that. And when that wasn't working, it was like a computer malfunction. They didn't know what to do. So they just sideways, and then they just belted it. Because when they look across to the sideline, he's wringing his hands, scared shitless. He doesn't know what to do. So that's why it is kind of it's a bottle, but it's because the whole team is a representation of that manager. Scared. And this is the thing, Rashid. After the Everton game, we came here and we did player ratings, and you gave Damon a 10, and we gave big kudos to Arteta for bringing him on and rolling the dice and putting his nuts on the table, as Kenny said. But we both said, look, he probably won't do it next time. He's in trouble. That's the problem, is that he'll resort back to type. And I knew as that match is going, and he's not bringing him on. He's not bringing him on. When he brought on Jesus and Martinelli, I mean, that was his roll of the dice. And even then, when he tried to it looked like he was going to overload the midfield and throw an extra forward on, he put Jesus in midfield and put Royce at right back. He still couldn't change the formation. He still couldn't bring himself to leave 3 at the back. Now, if that was Alex Ferguson or even Pep, one of the centre-backs is going up forward and Declan Rice is in midfield and Jesus is going up front and you're going all out. But in his head, he's thinking, I can't lose 3-0 because if I lose 3-0, they'll refer it back to 2018. They'll act like nothing's changed. I'll have to a lot more to explain. 3-0 looks a lot worse. At 2-0, I can say, oh, we're unlucky. They have 2 shots at 3 minutes, and we had the better of the first half. 3-0 is very hard for me to explain. Instead of just rolling the dice and going for it, he shit the bed as he always does. And all the excuses are rolling out. it is like the Matrix. You have Canton saying, "Oh well, the Wolves draw was worse than that. That's only the Carabao Cup." And then you have Robbie Loyal saying the same thing, and they are the exact same words. It's like those videos you see where they show news channels from all over the world, and they're all saying the same words. You know what I mean? And you go, "Oh, who wrote
Different
that?"
languages.
Yeah, but it's all the same script. It's the same script from all different news channels about 9/11. So it's like that. And all of these top gooner channels are coming out saying the same thing. And you're going, come on, man. You know what I mean? Stop dismissing it. And obviously then you have Ian Wright and all doing the same. But for me, that game, and I've said this so often this season, was if you want to see this manager explained in 90 minutes, there it is. Afraid to make the right subs, the wrong lineup, cowardly, throwing players under the bus, zero bollocks. And it was awful from start to finish. It was worse than the 2018 final, because in that 2018 final, that Man City team of 2018, if they played this Man City team, they'd spank them. Absolutely shred them. Right? That team would absolutely shred them. Never mind what they do to us. But the Arsenal team there was in turmoil, and it didn't have 1.3 billion spent on it. So 1.3 billion later, also a deteriorated City, and they still just dog walked us. Cherky doing keepy uppies. And that's it. People were talking about how well Cherky played. If he's in an Arsenal shirt, he ain't being allowed to play like that. He isn't allowed run at players. Semenyu's not allowed run at players. Doku's not allowed. It's stop, lay it back. And if you switch the managers and give them the exact same squads, Arsenal win that. Arsenal win that final with Pep in charge, and City are playing defensively. And I'll finish on this because I've said it a few times on different streams, but this is, if you want to know the difference between the managers, is you take the progression of Nico O'Reilly and you take the progression of Miles Lewis-Skelly. Both came into the teams around the same time at left back, young English players, good left foot, naturally midfielders. They both came in at left back because the team was stuck. 6 months later, Lewis-Skelly's on the scrap heap. Nico O'Reilly starting 44 games, half of them in midfield, keeping out Reinders and scoring 2 goals in the final. They're both kind of the same type of player as well. One of them has a good manager who isn't afraid to use his players. The other one's got a fraud whose only achievement is injuring players. And that's the big difference between the two managers for me.
No, 100%, man. 100%. Big up to everyone that's locked in as well. Big up Highbury 89 is saying the mentality of this group of players and managers needs to be discussed. This group over the years are shown they are spectacular losers. Facts, my bro. Facts. But yeah, this is the thing, Shane. I mean, before we move into the player ratings, I know that we're a bit late, man. We're a bit late because of certain things that happened. Why we couldn't go live. But like, I wanna jump into this player rating straight away. Yeah, I'll start off, Shane. I'll start off with Kepa. I mean, terrible performance. I mean, the way I see it, this is what I told my friend. I told him when he made the mistake, even negative Dan, when he was next to me, I was like, yo, bro, we have to take him off. He looks shaky. He looks shaky because he made that mistake. He knows everybody in the UK is watching you. Everybody in the world's watching you. He was out of place. He felt like it wasn't his game already. He started off with a mistake. So I can't blame everything on Kepa because it's not just him, but like, I'm gonna go with a 0, my bro. I'm sorry, Kepa. Like distribution 0, handling 0. That mistake nearly cost us. Doku should have. Another player would have probably scored that, but yeah, man, I'll go 0. I'll go 0 for Kepa. What would you say?
Look, this player rating, much like a nightclub full of top gooners, is going to be a lot of zeros in this, man. A hell of a lot of zeros. Kepa. What can you say? There's nothing you can really say about him. He was terrible. I still think if we had to start at Raya, we still would have lost. I don't think it would have made a difference. Yeah, I mean, and Hughes was right when he said it's not like he can fucking space jam it. If Raya was playing, he's not going to get the ball, solo it all the way up the pitch and score. He's just going to distribute it the same. There's still going to be no runners. It would have made the exact same difference. So, listen, there's going to be a hell of a lot of zeros here. And Kepa definitely gets a 0. He didn't do anything right. Everything was wrong. His distribution was terrible. He could have got a red card for wrestling Doku down. What was he doing out there? Yeah. Letting the ball bounce. Rule number 1, never let the ball bounce. Just come straight onto it and lump it out of play if you have to. But letting it bounce is criminal. You would bollock a 10-year-old for that. You'd bollock a 10-year-old player for letting it bounce in that situation. So 0 for him, man. Absolutely terrible.
Facts, 100%, man, 100%. And by the way, even Raya makes mistakes. I just want to add this little disclaimer.
A lot.
It's just that Ray's mistakes don't end up being a goal. That's all it is. It's the same shit. But
sometimes.
Let's go to Ben White. Oh my God, Ben White. It's like Ben White is like already 40 years old. Him and Saka are like 38, 40-year-old players. No pace, no physicality. He's lost the edge. He's lost the edge. I liked Ben White when he was a right back. Don't get me wrong. Like he was decent right back, bro. At one point, I was like, do you know what? He deserves to go to England. Do you know what I'm saying? He deserves a place there. But obviously, Kyle Walker and whatnot, it was very tough for him to get the spot. But like, I always saw Ben White as a good player, but Doku cooked him, bro. Doku cooked him a couple of times. And I remember you speaking about it even before when we were doing uncomfortable conversations before the game. And you were saying, if Ben White plays, long day. So I don't know, man. I'll go Ben White too.
Yeah. Well, look, before we do continue, I did do a quick rating on my channel where there was 10 zeros, and I just said there was 10 zeros, but I will be more fair now. Ben White gets a little bit, for me, kind of like Saka sometimes, because the manager's mashed him up. Like, he's finished. His career's over for me, really. At the top, his career is over because of this manager. But I knew he'd get cooked because Doku even cooked Timber at the Emirates.
Facts.
And it's the only time I've seen Timber at right back really have issues like that. At left back, he's got cooked a couple of times. But Ben White, I mean, they knew. That's why they went 4-2-4. And you imagine this, Rashid. Imagine a man on 15.6 million a year, and he sees these guys every day in training, and we can tell Ben White's finished. Anybody that knows football can tell he's finished. Anybody can tell that Saka's finished. Now, everybody's talking about it now like it's new news, by the way, but we told them fucking year ago, don't rush him back, you'll finish him off. But anyway, imagine him looking at that and going, okay, they'll probably start Doku. Even if they don't, it'll be a pacey winger because that's what they have him. It's either Semenyo or Doku will be at that wing. And he'll probably play either Ait Nori or Nico O'Reilly at left back, who overlaps, and they'll get forward. What I'll do is I'll play Saka and Ben White, who have no pace left, and I'll start the two of them. Like, what a fucking lunatic. Like, how can he think that that's going to work? This is our manager saying, I'm going to start two players that are both in the red, both clearly injured, and I'll get them overrun. What did he think would happen? And because Saka can't track back, that's how they scored both their goals. Yeah, like it. But anyway, for Ben White, he was on toast. I'm the same. I'll give him a 2, and that's just out of sympathy because he's injured. He didn't do anything, not going forward. He was cooked several times, and he looked frustrated that his body couldn't do what he wanted it to do, and I felt for him out there. But again, thrown in the deep end by this manager with no support. So I'll give him a 2 just because he's been matched up by the manager.
Facts, 100%, man, 100%. Saliba. Now, I'll be honest with you, Saliba. I'm gonna go 5. Why? Because I feel like Saliba was the best player on our team. Do you know what I'm saying? On Arsenal team, but I feel like he tried to do his best. You know, he had a battle with Haaland. You know, people disrespect Haaland like he doesn't do anything else, bro. Haaland keeps your defenders busy. You know, Haaland, if you miss him one time, it's a goal, innit?
Haaland was one of their best players.
Yeah, because
the stuff he did occupying the defense and stuff like that Gyökeres should be doing.
Exactly. And he really kept Saliba occupied, to be honest. And do you know what? Do you know what's crazy? This is how maybe Pep is such a genius. He moved to Saliba. He moved more to Saliba's side. He kept Saliba's busy. Like, he usually battles with Gabriel, right? Usually battles with both of them, but usually from Gabriel's side. But this time it was him and Saliba tussling and everything. But it is what it is. Haaland got the last laugh, I guess. Not him scoring, but him just creating that chaos, you know, keeping the defense.
The trophy.
Yeah, lifting the trophy. The centre backs got busy because of him as well. We were busy because of him. And it's always a tough battle with Haaland. I don't care what anybody says. One of the best strikers in the world right now. Yeah, I'll go 5. I'll go 5, Saliba.
Yeah. I did give him a 6. It was the only player that I gave a rating to, but I'm going to go 5 as well because, he kept Haaland, you know, from scoring, but Haaland still had a lot of success holding the ball up. And also, Saliba was very weak for the second goal. He was nowhere to be seen. So I will hold him to account for that. But he was the only player to come out with any form of, and even then he wasn't great, but he was the only one that could sort of not hold his head up high, but at least he could look at the rest of the team and go, "What the fuck, lads?" You know what I mean? Because everybody else was dog shit. But I'll give him a 5 as well because he did try. He did try, and for large parts, he kept Haaland quiet.
100%, man, 100%. Gabriel, on the other hand, I don't think it was a lot of battles with Haaland, but his distribution was the problem. In my opinion, Gabriel had the ball and he was hoofing it to way too much.
Yeah.
Now, it's not just his fault. I understand why he's hoofing it because he doesn't trust Zubimendi and he doesn't trust Rice on the turn. The press is too much. He doesn't want to be the guy that makes the mistake, Shane. Do you know what I'm saying? He just doesn't want to be that guy. And Gabriel's, it's not his strength. Like playing from the back is not Gabriel's strength. I remember one time, I think it was me, you, and a couple of man. We were on someone's channel, but we were talking about why Gabriel wasn't called by big teams in Europe. Not that he's shit, but like it's the ball playing part of football. Do you know what I'm saying? And I feel like he cost us a couple of times, and not a couple of times, a lot of time. I'm gonna go 4, 3.5, something like that for Gabriel.
I'm gonna go in on him because whether he likes the ball or not at his feet, he either needs to take control and take it himself or instruct someone else to do it because he seemed to go missing, man. And this is meant to be a guy people are big enough for captain. He went missing, and he does that quite a lot in big games. I'll be honest with you, unless he's scoring from a corner. He goes missing a bit the time against Newcastle away from home. I'm only going to give him a 2 for the sheer reason that when Nketiah was getting doubled up on, he didn't have the instinct to go out and help him. He left him he hung him out to dry. And this is what you're meant to read the situation. I'm not saying, to take control like as a captain, which I would like him to do, but how can he see that happening? Because like I said, in the second half, they not only doubled up with Matheus Nunes and Semenyo on Nketiah, then Cherki went out there. So they had 3 on him. And he didn't take control. He should have been pushing out. But again, it's because they're so programmed by this manager that he wouldn't even consider making a decision like that and leaving a gap in the middle and using his instinct to go out and double up with Nketiah, because if something happened, he'd be fucking shredded by this manager, where he should be going back, even if he did go over and it led to a goal and Arteta went at him in the dressing room, he should be going, well, you should have done something then, because why are you leaving him out there on his own? So for me, for him to leave his teammate like that, getting trebled up on, and let's get it right, all of the goals came from that side. And there was stages when Cherki was getting the ball off Semenyo, out the right, Nunes was overlapping, Semenyo was there with the ball, Cherki was getting it, and just taking 6-7 touches in the box because they couldn't put a foot in. And and that's when we knew the goal was coming. That's what everybody said, this goal is coming. And that's where Gabriel should have come out. So for me, he's lucky to get a 2 because he should be on a 0 as well, because he didn't take the instinct to come over and help him out. And yeah, for me, that was really a bad showing from someone that's meant to be one of the best centre backs in the world.
Facts. And a captain as well, Shane. A lot of people wanted him captain.
Yeah.
Hinkapie, look, he started off well. It's very hard to go against Semenyo. Like, you can say whatever you want about Semenyo, but one thing he is when he's an inside forward, when he's playing that on the wing, he's dangerous. He creates chaos. You know what I'm saying? He creates chaos in that box. And it was always going to be a tough game. I know. I knew it was going to be a tough game for Hinkapie. At first, he battled. He got cooked a couple of times, but he battled. Mm-hmm. And then after he got that yellow card, that's it. Everything went downhill. Shane.
Yep.
3, 2.5.
Yeah, I felt for him to an extent. But every time that we give him a high rating and say that he's really grown into it, we always say there is still that South American, getting attracted to the ball, getting attracted to the player. It would lead to bookings. Again, what manager doesn't see that he's a red card waiting to happen? Now, he got away with it, that he brought Calafiori on in, the 70th minute or something. He should have been taken off at half-time. He had to be, whether it's Lewis Skelly, whoever comes on, I don't care who comes on. He is a red card waiting to happen. And not just because he didn't get the red card, saying Arteta go, well, he didn't get it, and the top units say that. But he couldn't put a foot in. And again, both the goals came from that side. So if you have Calafiori in, at least you have another yellow card in you. If one of them gets clear, you can bring him down and stop the goal from happening, and we move. But he left it's. Do you know what? A Sunday league manager, Rashid, would have seen it. We all saw it. You were in the boozer around Wembley. Anybody in the stadium, anybody watching at home, any Arsenal fan or any football fan with any form of football knowledge, basic to a lot, would have been saying, take him off at halftime. There would have been millions of people on the planet watching that going, take him off at halftime. And of course, that's why he doesn't. It made absolutely no sense to leave him on. None. There was no sense in leaving him on. And he left him on and he couldn't put a foot in. And then it's 2-0 down and then he reacts. So for Nketiah, I'll have to give him a 2 as well because he was a silly yellow. It definitely was a yellow, but it was silly. He was left on his own as well because Saka can't track back because Arteta's destroyed his hamstrings and he'll never be able to keep up. But I'll have to give him a 2 because he was out of his depth and it showed. It showed. And I feel for him.
No, he was 100%. He was. Now to a ghost that is called Zubimendi.
Was he playing?
Exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say. 0. Absolutely. I didn't see him. 0. I did not.
Not the first time we said that either, Rashid. Not the first time we said that.
Anybody that says Zubimendi played, or tell us, please tell us. I beg you, tell us. We'll send you the link right now.
The first thing he did was play the ball out for a throw. Remember, he was about 3 yards away from the player, and he played it behind him. That was the take.
They suffocated him. They suffocated him in that midfield. He did not do nothing. Couldn't create. Sorry. The pass. He did play a pass. That was a nice pass. That was a nice. Exactly. Not in his position. So he plays better. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here, bro? Like he played a pass, not in his position. He was in the number 8. Don't be telling me he
was actively hiding. It was like that. It was like he was actively hiding, like Odegaard. Like a lot
Come on, bro. Johan knows. Johan, bro. Like I'm telling you, like you can't be telling me Zubimendi's a box to box too. Come on, let's not. What, a whole team's a box to box? So Rice is box to box. Havertz, Zubimendi. Come on, what are we doing here? 0, Shane. 0.
Yeah, 0. Ghost, absolute ghost. And like Johan says, actively hiding. The upgrade on party stuff needs to stop. It needs to stop because if you put Zubimendi in like this on 95% of the previous 30-odd Premier League seasons, he's getting absolutely destroyed. And he already has done. Like a lot of games he goes missing, metronome, and all these terms we hear from him. I can stand in front of the defence and take a touch and play it sideways. I can do that. You know what I mean? If you can stand up straight and you got straight in your legs, you can do that. I'm not saying that's all he does, but he's so bang average. And when he plays well, it's like you said, it's in the other half. You know what I mean? It's not doing what he's meant to do. And to start saying that this guy, if he win a league, he's one of the best players and Super Mendy and what a signing. He's fine as a player, but he's not. That's a final, mate. Step up. Now I know his legs have been destroyed by this manager as well, but stand up for yourself. You know what I mean as well. Tell him you're not fit for purpose. But for me, 0. He was awful, non-existent, and that's shameful in a final, by the way.
Facts, man.
They had 2 players in midfield also.
So they had 2 players. That's crazy.
Bernardo, and a washed Rodri apparently. Rodri basically on his own tied up our 3 midfielders.
And we all know that Rodri, even when Rodri was good, he can't play the midfield by himself. You know what I'm saying? He always had, Stones sometimes used to stand with Rodri to do the dirty work, and Rodri can kind of like control the play. But they bossed it. They bossed it in the midfield. Another player, Declan Rice. See, Declan Rice can run, defend, cross a ball. The only thing he can't do is progress with the ball, bro. Like, he can progress with the ball. He cannot
pass the player, though.
Yeah, he can't pass the players, and he can't break the lines. He can't make those goal scoring opportunities, bro. He's got 1 assist from open play, man. 1 assist. Do you know what I'm saying? 1 assist. This guy's supposed to be one of our best players in this club. Number 8. I'm sorry, it's not for him. It's not. No. And do you know what's funny, Shane? Yeah, in that game, exactly, we needed the number 8. We needed someone to come to the defense and say, Gabriel, give me the ball. Give me the ball, Gabriel. Let me turn with the ball. Let me turn and find opportunities.
Like Bernardo
That's what
Silva
Pedri does. Huh?
Like Bernardo Silva was doing.
Thank you. That's
Give
what Pedri does. That's what Bernardo Silva does. Cherky does it. Barella does it. These top players,
they're all players, Rashid. They want the ball in a final. They want to make the difference. That's the difference.
Exactly. And the crazy thing is that our only assist or our only real good pass came from Zubamendi, the number 6.
Yeah.
It didn't come from the number 8 or the number 10 that we'll be speaking about in a bit. But yeah, Declan Rice, bro, too. What would you say about Declan?
Yeah, for effort. He made a couple of good challenges. But again, it's because we were sort of caught out of position. But when you watch that footage of and I'll send it to you, of the back four and the keeper just not knowing what to do, he's sort of standing still. He's not taking control of the situation. He needs to, like you said, come short. Bernardo Silva would have come into the penalty spot to give you the ball if he had to. And then he'd spin and he'd have a look. He might sideways pass it again, but he'll receive it back. He'll find a bit of space and he'll start to move. They'll play it into feet. Declan Rice, without set pieces. Look, Declan Rice, I think, is our most important player, right? When he's on it, he's fucking unbelievable. He is unbelievable when he's on it, up and down the pitch. I like him. I'd love him to be playing a double pivot with someone like him. You know what I mean? Or a Wharton or something like that. I'd like to see that because Wharton, for me, is what Arsenal fans claim Zubamendi is. All his passes are forward. They're always forward. He'll shift inside and he'll play.
He controls the game.
Controls the game into feet. And Rice then would have, Wharton can go forward. He can, and that would be perfect for me. 2 6-foot-odd players, just like Vieira and Petit. Obviously, not even close to them in talent, but you know what I mean in today's football. But with Zubamendi, we told them, and I was again, you're so negative. You're so negative. All summer I was saying that Rice will be shattered in the second half of the season because he's going to have to do twice as much running to cover for Zubamendi because with Partey he could go right. I know you're all right there, mate. Well, I know you're fine there. You don't need me. Maybe the odd time I'll have to come back and help you out, but otherwise you'll be fine. Remember, Partey used to get it, play into his feet, and he wouldn't even touch the ball. He'd just shield the player, spin him, and away. Right when we're stuck, when we need an out. Rice needs to do that. Needs to be Rice now. Rice needs to start doing that. He needs to be the one. Now, I disagree with Kenny. Ken says he's not a 6. I don't think he's a 6-6 like a Busquets 6 or a Pirlo 6 or that sort of thing. But I do think that he is a double pivot 6, as in Hugo will stay. Now, they're trying to do that with Zubamendi, but the problem is when he goes and Zubamendi stays, and then when we get counter.
But Shane, hasn't he learned the trade by now? I mean, he's been playing number 8 for 2 years?
Yeah, but he's never going to be a good number 8, Rashid. He's never going to be the world-class number. What I always say is, as a 6 or a box-to-box, he's one of the best around. But as just a lone 8, like a Pedri or he's not even in the top 20. I'm sorry, he's not. Like you said, one assist from open play. One assist from open play. You know what I mean? Like if someone like Pedri went 2 or 3 games without an assist, they'd be getting criticised by their fans and by themselves. They'd be criticising themselves. So for me, like you said, he can carry the ball. He's a ball carrier until he has to beat a player. You know what I mean? He can charge forward with it when they have 2 banks of 8 and they're holding on to it. And he's just charging forward with it and he can lay it off. But he's not going to. I mean, for me, a ball carrier is what Lewis Skelly did against Atletico Madrid when he spun the player in midfield, brought the ball forward, and
then a little pass to Martinelli,
where Martinelli didn't even have to take a touch. That's a ball carrier. And by the way, when our keeper couldn't find a way out with the ball, Lewis Skelly in midfield would have been perfect. He could have come short, got it, and spun. But a real manager would have seen that. Not this.
He actually loves that. That's part of what Lewis Skelly likes. He likes to shield the player.
Best part of the game. He'll either get the free kick or he'll wiggle free and we'll be.
And he can beat a man. He can beat a man. Exactly. Lewis Skelly.
There you go. Good. And he's full of energy. One of the only players that hasn't been flogged. So, but there you go. But Declan Rice, I'll give him a 2 for effort. 2 for effort.
Absolute jogs. Havertz, bro. See, Havertz, when he came back, everybody was like, he gave. Do you remember? He played 2 passes forward. This is how much we're starving for midfielders. Players with just a little bit of spark. Havertz played 2 passes forward, Shane, and they were like, do you know what? He's better than Eze. Let's. Do you remember at one point they were like, do you know what? Maybe Eze needs to sit on the bench and play Havertz. Now, I'm not saying Eze's the answer. I'm not saying Havertz. In my opinion, all 3 of them aren't the answer. I'll be honest. we can talk about it for days. But like, we thought Havertz the guy when he came back. We were like, okay, maybe the second striker /10, whatever we were playing, it suits him. Now what? What did he do? Did you see him? Did you see him play? I didn't see him.
That's the Havertz that I know, Rashid. That's the one I know. Miss an easy chance and then disappear. Done.
Basically, yeah.
He did that against City last season in the 5-1. Missed an easy chance. Then he shit the bed with the next one and just passed it off to Odegaard. Remember Odegaard scored the open goal?
Yeah,
but then he scores a real casual finish to make it 4-1 and people go, oh, big game player. No, when the pressure's off, he's brilliant. Like in pre-season when he charged through and slotted it. Oh, he's back. Look, that guy again, he's injured, he's ruined. But he was never good. It's Kai Havertz. He was never good. He's not a good player. And now he was the one that's going to come back and save us. And now it's Odegaard. Odegaard now. Look how much we've missed Odegaard. Again, it's Odegaard. He's shit. You know what I mean? And not to go off the point, but I said this to Views. I think that come Saturday week when we play Bournemouth, it'll be Odegaard in midfield and Havertz up front. And that's what we're going to run in the league with, man. I mean, come on. Like,
yes. You think so? You think Havertz going to go?
Oh, he'll be up front and Odegaard will be brought back into midfield with Eze out now. That's the aim, which we knew would happen over time. And this would have happened months ago if they'd been fit and we would.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I was going to say, why didn't it happen months ago?
Well, they weren't ready. They haven't been fit. If they were fit this season, they would have started pretty much every game.
If we do, we're doomed, bro. We're doomed with those two. But we'll have to talk about that when we get to it. And now, let's start with Trossard. Trossard. See, Trossard's the kind of player that up, down. We know how Trossard is. They asked me on the Gooners therapy, they were like, I don't understand what's happening to our wingers. Why don't we play Martinelli? Why don't we play Trossard? One guy's saying Saka, one guy's saying Madueke. I'm saying, guys, they're both the same, okay? Two cheeks, one ass. Come on, let's be real here. It's nothing's changed here. Do you know what I'm saying? If you play Trossard, basically this is what I said, Shane. If you play Trossard, you get control without pace. If you play Nelly, pace without control. That's it. That's Martinelli and Trossard, both of them. Both of their ratings, 0.
Yep.
0.
Both
I did not see them at all, Shane. At all. What would you say about
Trossard was absolutely awful again. And again, he was hiding, as he does. Drifting into midfield when he didn't need to, just to get a touch of the ball and lay it off. But he was terrible. And Martinelli's Martinelli. He's not like, come on, man. I mean, that guy, I would like to see him have a go at Atletico or something to see if they can get a song out of him. Because I like Martinelli because he works hard. Now, I like him a bit less with the 2-1 stuff he was doing to Wolves fans and then having a laugh and a fucking joke, warming up when we're 2-0 down with Sevilla. What are you doing, mate? You know what I mean? What are you doing? So I'm starting to like him less and less. But again, it's a reflection on the manager because I said that when he lifted Thingamajig back onto the pitch or back off the pitch when he was injured against Liverpool. I said he wouldn't have done that a few years ago. The Martinelli I remember under Emery was all smiles and played football for the love of it, and he was all over the pitch and he was scoring headers and he
full
was
of life.
Full of life, man. Full of life. But also a winner. Remember he scored the goal against Chelsea when he ran from the halfway line, he was giving it socks. This guy is just a reflection of the manager. It's like a new stepdad has come in and he's teaching him how to be a piece of shit. You know what I mean? Like that's what it's like. But he was terrible. Trossard was terrible. I'm the same as you. 0 for both of them. They didn't do anything, and that's not being cruel. What did they? Someone show me one good thing they did, and I might change it. But terrible, awful.
Facts. We created one chance, Shane. So we created one chance. Now, a player that is on 300k, people. We need to really speak about Saka. Like it can't go under the radar. It just can't no more. It just can't go under the radar no more. I know you love him. I know we might need to. Okay, since you guys love him so much, we need to find a solution for him because right wing ain't it. This whole thing cutting back to the left. I'm sorry, man. Everybody clocked it. Everyone. A little kid can take the ball off you now. Like it's so easy, Shane. It's so easy. No pace, no control, no touch, no crossing. No, what are you good at then? What are you good at? No shot. What are you good at then? Do you know what I'm saying? And
Yep.
when we're picking every player, and we spoke about every player, now it's not about Saka, it's not about any player. Oh, a lot of players got zeros, but Saka, I'm sorry, we expect more from you. You're a 300k player. You're star boy. You're supposed to stand up. You're supposed to do what Shirky done. He was asking for Shirky was taking a piss, Shane.
Or
Semenyo,
any of them. Any of those City players.
Bernardo Silva stood tall. That's what star players do. Now you need me. I'm gonna be here. Give me the ball. Give me the ball. I'm not scared. Give me the ball. Do you know what I'm saying? I'll find a way. I'll find a way to break the passes. I'll find a way to change the ball to the left. I'll find a way to find Gyökeres. I'm the guy. That's why you get the big bucks. If you was working with someone that is doing the same job as you, is getting paid more than you, how do you feel?
Exactly.
That's what everybody feels at the club, Shane. 0 for Saka and 0 for Madueke. There's nothing even to talk about Madueke, bro. He just beat Madueke's Madueke, Shane. You know, he'll be a man too, not in there, create chaos, run around. Yeah, it is what it is.
Did you know what it is with Saka, which is sad, Rashid, is that you said we expect more from him. I'm at the point now where I don't even expect more from him anymore. I don't even expect more. I expect what we saw. That's what I expect from him now because he's broken in half. And big up to sorry, his name. I've forgotten his name now. I think it might have been Tony, whoever it was, said that like he needs a rest and you know his legs are gone. I don't think a rest will do it anymore. I think he's so badly, his legs are just so fucked that no amount of a rest will do it for him anymore. Like this is what he can do. He will have moments through his career where he shifts inside and he pings one in top corner because he is a quality player. But to me, he looks like when you used to watch like Legends football and like a 45-year-old Paul Merson was sort of flopping around, but there'd be a moment where he'd shift it inside and smack a top corner. You go, wow, like you just don't lose it. You know, but he's 24 and it's really sad to see it. This thing playing in him in 10 is just an excuse to play him. He's not good enough. I used to think left wing. I'm thinking, no, well, why? And someone was saying, put him at left back. I'm not paying 300 fucking grand a week for a left back who isn't even a very good left back. You know what I mean? So for me, I feel for him. I do. But you've been paid enough for what you've done for us. You're a man now, and you've been a man for let's say 6 years, because 18, you're a man, especially when you've come up through a football team and you've been exposed to media and stuff. You grow up quick, right? You needed to stand up to this guy. And all the other players that have been there, the experienced players, even the Aubameyangs and all these guys, they should be ashamed of themselves that when he was younger, they didn't step in and say, you have to stop playing him. You need to give him a rest because he's played 70-something, 80 games in a row. And Arteta was doing press conferences, being smug about it, like it was an achievement that he's played this guy into the ground. These fucking Cantons and these Zippies need to push him on it in a press conference. They need one of them needs to say, do you take any responsibility for this? Because you did overplay him and now you can see that someone needs to hold this guy accountable. And his teammates, the older ones, not now, he's old enough now, he's a big enough man, but it's too late. They should have stepped in. Because I guarantee you Tony Adams or someone would have stepped in. They would have stepped in and said, you need to lay off this guy, you're destroying him. You're damn right they would have. And it's embarrassing that these guys call themselves teammates and we're family guys. They let this tyrant destroy him. And it's not just him. We've gone through them. Ben White, finished. Never be at the top again. Tomiyasu, career over. Zinchenko, career over with injuries. You have Saka now, career over. Odegaard's going down the same road. Jesus, career over with injuries. Havertz, career is going to be over soon with injuries. The list goes on of the players that this man has absolutely...
Shane, you think he'll get his pace back? You think he can turn it around? Because
I feel like it's done. Before, Rashid, it's a burst of pace. It's different. It's different. It's gone. Like Michael Owen lost it with the same injury. He said Michael Owen says himself, I was on the downturn from 19 because of the exact same injury. Look at Gabriel when he got turned against City in the league when Haaland left. He couldn't keep pace with him. You just don't see it as much with a centre back because he's not having to burst the pace.
Of course.
He's normally backtracking or you don't see it as much.
And he's got like three midfielders in front of him.
Yeah, and it's more sort of about position and stuff. With the burst of pace, it's Saka's game. That's his whole game. It's like when we were talking about Declan Rice, his game is his engine, and that's being taken away from him now because he's exhausted. And that's why you're not seeing the same Declan Rice. You're getting odd games. Leverkusen, he was brilliant. But most games since Christmas, he's been average. Really, Declan Rice hasn't been great. And that's because his whole game is getting up and down the pitch. Where Saka's whole game is his burst of pace, and it's gone. And that's a muscle thing. That hamstring had to be sewn back together. So it's never going to be the same. It's never going to be right. And the hamstring, it's what you need for a burst of pace. Yeah. It's never going to be the same. And that's why it's a shame. And I do feel for him, but we're after tying him down now to a massive contract. He ain't fucking, we're not getting rid of him. And it's a shame. I feel for him.
Even really Saudi would have buy him for 300.
Nah, they're not paying him that. But the thing is, I'll give him a 0, and I feel for him. He was terrible. Mad Wakey's cameo was one of the worst cameos I've ever seen. I was laughing at one point, but not in a funny way. In it, when someone's going insane.
If you don't cry, you laugh, kind of thing.
It was like a cackle. I couldn't believe. I know my hand. I can't believe. What's he doing? He's just
the Joker. It was a Joker moment.
He ran out of play at one stage, like Forrest Gump. He just ran straight out of play, and I was like, "What? What this is?" And then my missus all she kept saying was, "We could have got Semenyo. We could have got Semenyo, right?" And but then I said to her, "Yeah, but Paul, if we had Semenyo, he wouldn't be doing that. Like he wouldn't be doing what he's doing at City because he wouldn't be allowed." So what I mean, if we had Semenyo, he'd be playing like.
So it's the same thing, really, Shane.
It's the manager wouldn't let him run at the players the way he runs at them. But I'll give them both a 0 because they were both absolutely awful, man.
100%, man. Now we end it on Tommy Egan, aka Gyökeres. He was wearing Timberlands, Shane. He was wearing Timberlands, jeans. It was crazy. Like it was
hard hat. Fucking
you know what I'm saying? Like
tool belt. You had a tool belt
it's
on.
Brick outside. Like it's crazy.
Yeah. A roll up, smoking a roll up, man.
Exactly, roll. He got the drink with the.
Yeah, man. Fucking hell. Can of Monster and a breakfast roll. Like what are you
saying, bro? Like, oh my god, bro. Did he even touch the ball? I'll be honest, man. Did he even touch the ball? I can't even rate him. He barely did nothing, bro. Didn't touch the ball. Didn't do nothing. Didn't make the runs. We were going long to him.
Targeting Ake. Ake started 4 games or something this season. Stick on him. Stick to him. Like Haaland did. Push him around. But again, the manager should be telling him to do that.
Yeah.
Stick to him. You know what I mean?
100%, man. But that's where it is. It's he barely touched the ball. I don't care what anybody says, bro. 0. Absolutely 0.
Yeah,
0.
no, bang average. Never got the ball. Didn't take the initiative to just target Ake. At least give him a bit of hassle. Smack into him a couple of times.
At least do what Haaland was doing.
Yeah. If you can't score and you're not getting the ball, at least let your presence be felt. Smack into him with a shoulder. You know what I mean? Get stuck in. Make a couple of runs. I know it's frustrating when you're not getting the ball, but you're getting paid enough to keep trying. Haaland can go 20, 30 minutes without touching the ball, but he's still giving the defense hell.
Yeah.
Because they're having to track him and they're having to stick with him and stuff like that, and it's opening it up. Look, at the end of the day, it boils down to a rookie getting schooled by a master. And Pep didn't even have to try that hard. A couple of little tweaks, bamboozled him. Tommy Egan, 0.
0, 100%, man. 100%. But yeah. Listen, that's the rating. What Arteta's -10. Don't even ask us about Arteta, bro. -10. But Shane, we've got the next game is Southampton, right? We've got the FA Cup. We should be getting through. I know. Obviously, our heads all over the place as players, as fans, and as everybody, but. I'm sorry, man. You're supposed to be a professional football player. You need to get back in the game. Get back in the game. I feel like we should really rotate against the Southampton. We should really rotate. Save a couple of players.
Yeah.
Save a couple of players. I mean, all of the players are injured. I'm loving it, Shay. I'm not understanding. Like all the players are injured. He's stopping them from going to perform their duties with their international teams, but. I feel like they're really injured. Like we knew that Saliba was injured. We knew, we are injured. They're not 100%, but like they're not 100%. I mean, they're not injured to the point where they can't play football, but they are injured. There's niggles. That's what he calls it, right? Niggles.
But the injuries they have, I guarantee you they would have been sent home by their national teams.
Yeah, and then he would have been found out. Yeah. I'm
telling you, it's happened before. It's happened several times. Declan Rice got sent home. Saka got sent home. Martinelli got sent home. Saliba got sent home one time. What are you doing here? Calafiori, you're injured.
Yeah.
That's what.
Even
what it was.
Odegaard got sent home.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shane, I would go. I want to see a different team. Do you know what I'm saying? Than the one that played. You know, I can't play Kepa after what he did. He needs to be. I know he'll play. He needs to be punished for what he did. Setford. I'll play the third goalkeeper. I'll play the third goalkeeper. Or just play Raya.
Yeah.
Right back. Shit, man. Not really much.
I think you'll go Mosquera.
But then who would I play in the centre back? Because I don't want anybody else to play.
Oh, we're picking what we'd pick. Is it what we'd pick?
Yeah, what we pick.
Oh,
what I would pick. I'd go.
But Calafiori's going to come back. If he's playing 2 games for Italy, he's coming back injured, I'm sure.
Probably,
You know what I mean?
man. I'll go Mosquera, Hincapié, Calafiori, Lewis Skelly.
Yeah,
Lewis Skelly. Norgard in the number 6. Daman on the right. Nelly on the left. Jesus up front. We need the number 8.
Odegaard will probably be back. Havertz.
Yeah, we could probably go with Odegaard or Havertz. Yeah, that's what I would go for. What would you? What's your thoughts on the game, of course, and what would you pick, Shane?
Yeah, well, I think it's a massive game, but I'm with you. People seem to think, and I've said this a few times today, that the international break is like a break, but it's not, because every player in the squad plays. It's worse than the league or the Champions League or whatever, because even Lewis Skelly will play for the England under-21s, and Dowman will play for the under-18s or the under-21s, whatever the case may be, and Calafiori will play 2 games, and the whole squad ends up playing, where when it's a league match or a Champions League, 11 players only play, and you can bring the subs on. So I think that when you come back from international, the players are normally even more tired. So I would rotate, because we play Bournemouth at like 12:30 Saturday morning. You know, so it's a quick turnaround. And I'm worried about that game. But,
and surely you don't need these top players to beat.
But Southampton are in good form. They are in good form, to be fair.
Okay.
They're in very good form.
So they're dangerous. Okay.
They are dangerous. They're very dangerous, but we still should be able to do them. You know, the best squad in the world, apparently. So I'd be the same as you. I'd make a good few changes. And if we lose with the changes, I'll still bollock them, because we shouldn't be in this position, right? So this is, you get paid enough for this criticism, by the way.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be playing Kepa. Not a chance. I wouldn't be playing him. But he will. He will. Yeah. I'd probably, if Ben White's fit, you know, I'd probably keep him in. But if Timber's injured, I wouldn't be putting Ben White anywhere near it in case he gets injured as well. So I would be putting, like, Mosquera should be able to handle centre back with, even if one of them's fit, one of Gabriel or whatever's fit. But I'd love to see, if it was me, I'd love to see Lewis Skelly in midfield. But I don't.
Who would you put right back? You would put Mosquera.
Probably Mosquera. Yeah, Mosquera. Yeah, Mosquera, I think. And then I'd have probably Calafiori if he's fit, and maybe even Norgard, and put Lewis Skelly in midfield or something. I'd mix it up. I definitely would mix it up, but I wouldn't go. I don't know if I'd do 11 changes just because we lost the final. But maybe if we had won that final, I'd make wholesale changes. And if we go out, we go out, because, you know, bigger fish to fry and all that. But we should be able to, with the so-called best squad in the world, be able to beat Southampton with 11 changes.
100%, man. 100%. Okay, last but not least, Ireland, Czech Republic. I heard that they're going to play tomorrow. It's going to be a big game. Come on. Let's get this. What's your thoughts? What's your thoughts on that, Shane?
Yeah, look, Czech Republic are a better team technically. They're very Eastern European, as in they're all very good on the ball.
Yeah.
They're a good unit. They're not the Czech Republic team that I remember from the mid-90s.
They had ballers. Do you remember the striker called Vola? I think he was called Vola. He was a big lump.
Collar. Yeah. Huge. Yeah, he played for Dortmund. Massive.
Yeah.
And then they had Preborsky, and they had
Rosicki.
A lot of players, man. A lot of top players. But they're not that team. They're still dangerous, but they're not that team. But I think if we play the way we did, I had Hemor sacked and all, man, after the Armenia game.
Oh shit!
And then he just flipped it and he went, "Fuck it, I'm going old school Ireland. I'm going high press, put him under pressure." He went Jack Charlton style, Play it into dirty-ish football. Just play it into the channels, chase them down. Old school football, not dirty actually. Old school, good old wholesome football. Play it down the channels, get crosses in. You know what I mean? Get Troy Parrott's on 30-something goals this season as well, by the way. Banged in a hat trick against Ajax the other week, and he's balling out. So if we can
the
get
striker,
Troy Parrott,
innit? Like the striker.
Oh yeah, man, yeah, he came from Tottenham. He scored a hat trick to get us through into this playoff, and he's one of these players that when he pulls on an Ireland jersey, he grows in stature. He just becomes a different player, you know. So if we can get him on the ball, if we can put him under pressure, we can nick a win because we're away from home. But then if we do win the final, we play one off at home against either Denmark or Bosnia, or not Bosnia, but yeah. So I do think that I do think we can do it, but it depends. The first half will be very important. If we don't concede early, I think we can take them. Just true spirit, I think we can take them.
Hopefully, man. Hopefully, we'll be Ireland tomorrow. Big up to everyone. Parrot, big up, Parrot, man. Big up, Dr. Seymour, bro. Dr. Seymour, Kevin, you know, Guinness E. Big up to everyone that's locked in. Listen, I hope you enjoyed this. We were a bit late, so it didn't feel like usual. But big up to everyone that's locked in. We're gonna read that. Sorry, Shane, what you got coming up?
Yeah, usual full Irish tomorrow, which will be a proper full Irish because we'll be getting into the Irish game, and then lethal watch along with views for. Let's hope it can be like the last one. Anything close to that would be amazing. One of the best moments as a football fan I've ever had. So hopefully we'll have that. But we'll be watching the match then live on my channel tomorrow night as well.
Yeah, you better catch that, man. You better catch that. You better. Big up to everyone that's locked in, and we're gonna redirect Jez. So go show him some love. And yeah, people. Good night. See you next time. Big up to everyone that's locked in. Big up, man. Rashid.